I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building businesses that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, based over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What's going on, good people? You already know who it is. It's your three favorite guys, your podcast, your favorite podcast. Y'all already know it's 3-Man Weave, episode 113. Oh man, what's the day? We got July 13th, special Tuesday coming up. Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Hill, and Hill gon' Hill regardless, baby. Let's get it.
You know what, Hill, as always, you got your favorite guy, Buchanan, Washington fan extraordinaire. Don't know what the new name is going to be yet, but hopefully it's coming soon.
2022,
baby.
And guess what?
It won't be the Warriors.
I ain't like the Warriors.
I did.
I like the Warriors. So I'm hoping that, it's going to be the Red Wolves. So also I'm here to cut the cap, and that's a fact. So who else we got?
You already know what it is. You got your boy AJ, King of the Red Cup. I'm going virgin today, so all I have is orange juice because I'm actually tired of being king of the dad bod right now. So I'm trying to cut back on my alcohol consumption. So we virgin Red Cup today. So I'm reclaiming my purity, and my body is a temple.
That's why the last few episodes I ain't had nothing but Gatorade and water. Oh man, I got to knock this thing down faster than this thing's terrible. But y'all know y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _, and TikTok. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. For everybody that's watching us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe.
And turn those notifications on. Make sure you got those on so you can see everything that we do.
That too. Everybody that's watching us on Facebook, thank you. AJ put it in the comments. Please give StreamYard permission if you haven't done so already. We want to give you your credit once you post your comments so we can give you your full credit. We don't want to see Facebook user. We have a guest today.
Yeah,
a guest,
Mr. Paul Lombardi of the 3&D podcast. So we're gonna go ahead and let Paul run his intro, and we're gonna bring him in, and we're gonna get straight to it.
You know it.
Iverson. Yes. How about that? Steps over Teron Lue. 7 straight points by Iverson. Looked like he was dead in the water. The Sixers by 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. If that's the last image of Michael Jordan, how magnificent the series. It's Lillard, he got the shot off, Lillard, good! And the Blazers win the series for the first time in 14 years! Starks, yes! What a move by Starks, who was able to sky to the basket. John Starks with the move of the night. Here's Jordan for 3, yes! Did you see that look? Michael indicating he can.
What's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing?
What's
good?
We good.
What's going on, Paul?
Hey man, Paul, let the people know, man. Let the people know where they can find you. Let them know a little bit about you. Tell them about the 3&D, man.
Yeah, so the 3&D is an NBA and college basketball podcast. I do it through my friend Tom Scavetta's network. I review and preview. We go live every Monday night at 7, talking about all the breaking news in the NBA, in college basketball, everything that's going on, NBA draft coverage, you name it, we have it. You can stream it on any platform that you stream your podcasts on. You can check out our live streams on our YouTube channel at Review and Preview Sports, and you can follow us on Twitter too at the 3&D, where we stay active, tweet out breaking news in the NBA and college basketball, and news about the podcast.
Speaking of Review and Preview, that is on right now on their channel, their Facebook group. Shouts out to our guy Tom. We be seeing Tom. Quick question, Paul.
Yeah.
Can you hoop?
Can I can hoop. I can. I played through high school. I played for the school team first couple of years, and then I played city basketball. Played throughout college and stuff. I played all growing up. I played in middle school and stuff too. I was decent. I was a mediocre defender and mostly a 3-point shooter. But
look, see, I didn't want to, I didn't want to be the guy, but I'm like, hey, Paul, were you a shooter?
I was a shooter. That's what I was known for, because I'm 6'3" now, and
you tall.
Yeah, I'm 6'3" now, so now I've become more of a big man. Like when I play pickup games, and when I play with my friends, and when I played city and stuff. But back in middle school, I was really small. I was like 5'3", 5'4", and I wasn't a great ball handler either, which was bad. So I couldn't really run the point. So I kind of just chilled at the 3-point line, and that's where I was most serviceable.
Now, the reason I asked that, because we issued a challenge to our guys at JDS Sports to the 3-on-3. You know what I'm saying? We still waiting for them to respond. Like, we don't know if Review and Preview, are they ready? Do you have 3 on your squad ready to go?
I could put 3 together. I'd probably be the headliner. I don't think anybody. Tom played a little bit in high school. Trying to think who else. I don't really know if Kyle or James played. But we could put 3 together. That would be fun. That would be interesting. I gotta warm up a bit for a couple months. Got to get my jump shot back. I still can't dunk, so I got to probably stretch a little bit.
Don't worry, my knees won't let me dunk either. So this is gonna be a below the rim game.
Exactly. That's the way I play my best.
You'll see more dunks in a WNBA game than us.
So go ahead.
Sean, I just want to address Sean. Just know, you may have CP3 handles, but we gonna do you like Steph did CP3.
Sean don't want no smoke. And if Sean, off the Dome Sports Network, if they want some smoke too,
we got it for everybody. Let me tell this to Sean. Handles don't work on Hill. So Hill is that guy that you never like to play against. Like, that's how his defense
this is. Hill Beverly.
Yeah. So it's like he ain't going for handles and none of that, bro. He's going for fouls.
Whoa,
rough D the whole time.
Whoa. Don't disrespect. We are not disrespecting me like that. No. Paul, hold on, Paul. You are not disrespecting me like that. I am not a hack. You are not.
Hey, you ain't gonna get CP3 if it come down to getting CP3. He said he got CP3 handles.
Now say that.
You ain't ready. Yeah, so I was like, you ain't gonna get CP. That's why I said we ain't worried about that, because we got Hill. So we're gonna enforce the CP3, and Sean got to finish. So it's like,
the way you delivered it, made it seem like I was a hack, and I know Deuce is watching, and he been waiting for that. He's been waiting for that. And happy belated birthday to our engineer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Our engineer for my first mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
Deuce.
So look. It's a meme floating around, and I just couldn't just let this go without us discussing it. The relationship isn't real until you argue on vacation. How do y'all feel about that? Because I don't agree with that at all.
I prefer not to argue on vacation. I have before, but I don't think that made my relationship real. I think it was real before then. But it's like, I don't want to argue on vacation. That defeats the purpose for me. And I've even argued with my homeboys on vacation too. Like anybody, if you argue with anybody in your party on vacation, it's a blower for a little while. So it's like, bro, I'd rather not deal with that. I like good vibes. So it's like I don't want to take that type of stuff on vacation. Hopefully we can leave that behind. But I definitely don't believe that makes the relationship real. That's just internet talk.
What
the
you
part
think,
that was
Paul?
the part that was getting me mad was everybody was agreeing with that shit.
I got some statements for this. But I want to hear Paul. Paul,
Yeah.
what you think? Do you think, because you're the younger gentleman, so I know you might be a little bit more familiar with kind of what's going on in social media as far as this question. Do you think that's serious? Would you like? Do you think if you're in a relationship with a woman, it's not really serious unless y'all argue on vacation?
I'll tell you what, that's something I would 100% avoid. I don't think in any way there's any good that can come out of that. I mean, like the vacation is just supposed to be relaxing. It's supposed to be chill. That's, in my experience, that's definitely something that I'm not trying to get into, save it for when we get back home. That's definitely how I think about it.
That's how I feel. Because like for me personally, I'm not trying to argue over vacation because to me it's the complete opposite. If we arguing on vacation, that's how I know the relationship ain't real.
It's true.
If I'm on vacation, I don't want nothing but good vibes and good sex, and I don't know how to have makeup sex. So if you make me mad on vacation, I'm just like stay in the room. I don't care what you do. I'm gonna go get drunk. I'm gonna go be on the beach or whatever. But once we start arguing, you trying to ruin my time, and I can't have it.
Yeah. I ain't trying to hear none of that, bro.
None of it.
Get me a drink. The moment you get me mad or attempt to get me mad, I'm going to go get me a drink. And I ain't trying to hear none of that. I'm not. Only thing making me mad on vacation is bad weather. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even tripping off that.
I'm not even tripping off that.
Listen, bro. I'm
gonna put on some Summer Rain by Carl Thomas, and we gonna be on that balcony.
I was in Mexico one time, bro, and it just started raining, and it was raining hard. But it was like we was already on the beach, so I was like, I ain't going nowhere because it was no lightning, no thunder. I just stayed out there, and in about 8 minutes, it was. The sun came out and it was like no one even knew that it even rained. So it's like, bro, I just stayed out there. So it's like, but back to the point, I definitely, to Paul's point, I definitely would probably try to avoid it. Like
all costs. Even
if it's something that I normally would have not held my tongue for, I just might hold my tongue on a vacation because it's like I have an end goal in mind. Like, one, we pay money to be here. I want to enjoy my time. The time here is limited. I want to get the max out of it. And like AJ said, I have goals that I want to achieve, and I can't achieve it because I'm kind of like AJ. Once I get upset, like I don't really do too good with. I need space.
I want to skate.
I need space. So it's like we're not gonna be able to do some of the things that we have planned if we get off to a bad start. So I'm trying to keep everything cool and have a smooth vacation.
Just like Mr. Lau said, your time is limited on vacation. I don't want to waste paid time, and he made sure paid is in all caps. Shout out to Mr. Lau, man.
And he's always on vacation, so he knows he's the perfect person to ask.
Ain't got time for that. I'm happy.
You know how much all the rooms cost? I'm not trying to be arguing in this motherfucking room.
Yeah. We gonna figure out something. But look, home run derby was last night, y'all.
Yeah, man, it was pretty. It was a pretty good showing. It was a very good home run derby. It just didn't sit well with me. I don't like the new format.
I was just about to say that.
I don't like the new format because if you think about it,
we thinking about
Juan had 30. He had 31 homers, right? But he still doesn't go to the second round, and he loses to trade with 24. So it's like, so he gets the advance. I don't, but it's like, come on now. So it's like, I really don't like that format. I like the format, the way it was when we were kids growing up. And it's like a lot of things I thought was perfect in modern sports. They keep changing it. And I don't know why. You know, they changed the All-Star in the NBA format. They keep changing things. That I don't know why. If it's broke, don't fix it. But to the champ, shout out to him. It's the first back-to-back champion in a long time. It's only been 3 back-to-back champions in our lifetime, so that's a major achievement. But I still like Ohtani, man, in a game time situation. So it's like I just want to say that like home run derby is not really indicative of what's going to happen in gameplay.
Yeah,
I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. I think that like it's a little bit of over exaggerated batting practice to an extent. You know, it's like I'm a big Mets fan, so obviously I was hyped when I saw Pete Alonso. I think that he's great, and I think it shows off a lot of his power and stuff too. But I think the 10-out format like we used to have is a better system to try to like for. I don't really think the timed one is that great. Like because you can. There's something that just doesn't sit well with me about that. You have just throwing pitch after pitch and, swinging before the ball even lands too. It's just, I don't even know.
And so with me, my biggest gripe is kind of like what you were saying, Paul, like with the 10 outs, when it's almost like you're trying to do this fast pitch, just pump as many down as you can. What you lose is that the monster home run and everyone just being in awe of it, exactly. Some of those shots, it's like back in the older version, when you drop in a 500 plus bomb, they pan the camera to the crowd, then they go over to the player's pen where everybody's just going crazy, like, oh, did you see that? Yeah. And then the hitter gets to take some time back, and he gets to admire it. Yeah. And then he gets to kind of
I missed that.
He gets to pick his pitches and really gets to say like, okay, this is the one I want. And so I miss that. And it takes some of that luster out because really that's what, honestly, seeing somebody, seeing, Pete and all those guys hit, 25, 28 home runs is nice. Yeah. But also I want to be able to see where that ball lands before another one goes out and play. You know what I mean? And so that's really what I miss, So
it's the time, man.
I don't per se like the time. If they want to, go as far as, hey, you have 2 minutes to get off these, get 10 the 15 outs and make it, instead of 10 out format, increase it to 15, but you only get one time out, but you have to finish it. You have to finish those 15 outs within a certain time frame or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just keep seeing just like, it's just like you had a just batting cage and they're trying to get us.
Yeah, you have to go at that pace.
Because what happens is those later rounds, they're so gassed because
they're gassed, bro.
Say what you want about baseball players. Swinging a bat is tiring. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like it's literally like it's like a full body from head to toe, just action. And so you're doing that, and you're trying to put fence. And you're trying to put some power on that shit. It's taxing. So when you're doing all that, and then look what happened to Ohtani when he got, had to go in for that swing off. It's like he was gassed trying to get to, the that extra time, and then he had to go to the swing off, and it was almost just like he didn't get the rest like Juan Soto got, and so it was just like hey. You got it, because once they had the swing off, I was on.
But it still hurt Juan Soto too. So it's
100%. But
so it's like, and that was my point. It still hurt both of them.
And I don't necessarily disagree with the format in a sense where it's the bracket, because that's just like, it's just like in any other sport when you have a bracket. Sometimes you may have a team, you may have a team that scores 40 points a game, but they beat the team, and then it's just that's just what it is when you put people in a bracket. So.
But don't bracket them, man. Let them all go. Let it be an open field.
I like
narrow it down.
Yeah. I like the one after one. When they used to have like the 8 guys, everybody would just go and top 4 make it, and then you play it off.
Boom. That's how you do it.
The old format was awesome. I think that was really because like your point too. I completely agree with that, because if these guys hit bombs off scoreboards and things like that. You can't even look. You can't even see it. Can't even admire it because the next pitch is already coming in. So back in like like the first one that comes to mind, Josh Hamilton at Yankee Stadium too, when he was hitting those rockets into off the second deck, off the third deck and stuff. You got to admire it, and you got to see the entire American League on the sideline, like reacting to it and stuff. Like that was part of the fun of the home run derby. Now it's like you don't even have enough time. It's like there's one camera that's showing him swinging, another camera that's showing the ball in the outfield. It's not.
Yeah, it's just like it. And then they're like, it's almost like they're like you're looking at the ball that he just hit, and then another pitcher's coming. Next thing you know, he's already got another home run on the board, and you're like, wait. Yeah.
It's the YouTube era. Everything has to be fast.
Yeah, it ain't got to be that fast.
Exactly.
It's these impatient ass kids, man.
It ain't got to be that fast. But question from Mr. Lyles again. He said, "Is it me or is everyone mimicking the U turnover chain?"
Absolutely.
I think they could have done without the chain. And I just googled the home run derby chain. I'm like, what the hell is that?
But you gotta admit, like once again, I said it's the YouTube generation and the Miami, like that's what they like. They like the turnover chain. So why not have a home run derby chain? I ain't mad at them for mimicking it, but they are mimicking it.
Baseball's trying to get younger and they're trying to get cooler. So
I ain't mad at it.
I ain't mad at it. It's just look, it kind of little John Cena-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get me started on John Cena.
But I saw a couple other football teams, college football teams, do it also.
Oh, almost every college football program has something now.
Yeah, they got something. They got something over there. Everybody got something.
Yeah.
So Mark Dave the Crusher, he made a good point. Baseball is so scared of time nowadays. They're trying to appeal to this new generation at all costs.
Yeah.
And I just and that's my thing. I'm one of those people. I hate the unwritten rules in baseball. Hate them. And I grew up all my life playing baseball, and that's one of the biggest things.
I love some of them. Some of them I love them.
I mean, some of them.
There's no crying in baseball.
Yeah, but that's just a rule.
That's unwritten. That's unwritten.
I mean, I feel like that's written in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit different, but
like Pookie Loke.
Yeah. So my thing is just like they're trying to do so much to speed up the game and appeal to this younger generation, and I don't think it's working regardless. And so to me, I think just keep some of the essence of the game. It's just more like, hey. Speed, like, hey, come on. Like, umpires just need to be, hey, come on. Like, stop fucking around and, like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, because with baseball, you can put a time limit all you want, but if it's a 17-inning game, because it's going into extra innings, there's nothing you could do about it. You could put somebody on second. People still got to move that player over. So regardless, you still going to have those games, whereas you got to finish it. So it is what it is.
But what I will say, for when I just watch a baseball game now, it is a lot easier to watch 9 innings of baseball now. So I do appreciate that, because there was a time when I would watch 3 or 4 innings and then I would just turn, because it's like, golly, like get to the important part of the game. But it's like now the game starts and you look up, it's the 3rd, you look up again, it's the 7th, and you're like, oh, we got to make moves now. So it's like, I do like that they have cut out a lot of the standing around in baseball that used to be on TV, and they're trying to move it forward. But for the home run derby, I feel like we have to admire the act of the long ball. Chicks dig the long ball. We want to see, you know what I mean? I just remember like Big Papi and them just looking at it, or it just going into outside of the park, 500 yards back in the steroid era. But still, man, it was a beautiful thing to watch. So,
and the crazy thing is this has actually kind of been like a real dead ball era, and the pitchers are going crazy right now. But it's still some of the most entertaining because you have just entertaining personalities. Yeah, and I think a lot of sports, like that's why basketball has excelled, because basketball has sold personalities. They've allowed their players to have personalities. And now you're starting to see guys like Acuna, I hope he gets well soon. You're starting to get people like Fernando Tatis and those guys who are like Nick Castellanos out in Cincinnati. You're getting those guys who have personality, not afraid to show it. And that's what's going to get this young generation really going. And, I know Bryce Harper was doing it, when he was with the Nationals, but now it's becoming a little bit more widespread that they're allowing some of these personalities to really flourish and market them. Not just, have guys with these good, these big personalities and, they may get a top 10, sports in the top 10 play. And then you see them, do a bat flip. No, in your promo commercials, put out those guys doing the bat flip. Put out those guys, getting excited and talking shit after they strike somebody out. That's what baseball needs, to be quite honest. Personality.
Facebook user, I need you to scroll up and give StreamYard permission because you're making some great points, and we want to give you your permission that give you your credit that you deserve. And while you do that, we're going to transition to tell you your boys is over there tricking it up in Tokyo. I'm gonna let them just go ahead and keep it a buck. Your boys, matter of fact, Paul, these are your boys. Yeah. Your boys are over there on the Olympics right now, tricking it up in these exhibition games, though.
Yeah.
But are you worried?
I'll tell you, I'm not too worried. I think that they got to, once they get back into, they're kind of like trying to figure out the team, figuring out the chemistry. I think that's the biggest part. I'm not too worried. I mean, the problem is, though, there's a lot of good national teams nowadays in basketball. Like the Nigerian team is great. The Australian team is really good. It's not going to be, Team USA running through everybody. There's some decent competition. You got a bunch of NBA players on that Nigerian team too, which is awesome. And it makes it much more competitive, and they can't just slouch up. I think it's interesting. I think still at the end of the day, they're going to figure out. You got too much talent. You got Dame. You got KD. They're going to figure out how to play together. But these first few games have been really interesting.
So before you go, Ken, how did you feel about the roster before these two losses? Were you sold on the roster anyway?
It was not nearly as strong as previous years, but I think I was pretty sold on it. I mean, I was pretty sold. I thought that it was pretty good. I think Devin Booker, they're still waiting on Devin Booker, Middleton, and Drew Holiday's seasons obviously to end. But, you got KD. James Harden would have played if it wasn't for injuries. CP3 was a potential that was going to play. Even though you don't have LeBron and, the top American players this year, I still thought that it was a very strong team. You have Draymond. I kind of liked the kind of spacing they had. They have a lot of different types of players that I feel like could play well together. I feel like Lillard and KD could really complement each other well as the two main scorers. Draymond does the dirty work. Those kind of things I kind of liked. I thought it was a good team, but I looked around, at some of the other teams, and there's some good talent in this Olympic pool. So it's going to be interesting. It's not going to be obviously, if we're able to put together a dream team of, all the best players in the NBA, like in the past, like the 2008 team or the 92 team, when we had like Carmelo, LeBron, D Wade, all of them playing together, then we would be running through it. But you have some interesting faces that are in their first Olympics and trying to figure it out, really.
Yeah, go ahead, Kenna.
No, you go ahead. One of y'all.
So I was thinking, as just like when you look through the roster, it's a roster that you would put together if you was going to like a park. You just give me some shooters.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a roster like you would construct as if you were actually trying to build a team, because you really have no one who's going to be able to control the ball. This is just like you have some people with some size, but that's like you don't have anybody that's willing to play in the paint, get buckets and crash the glass. And if you look at some of these, like these two losses, they were getting their ass whooped in the paint, getting rebounds, and these other teams were getting these second chance points. So I would have I know he has been proven, he's been here before in the Olympics and stuff like that. But I would have liked to see Kevin Love keep his ass home, maybe, and you get somebody younger, kind of like a Christian Wood, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody
some more big men.
Yeah, somebody who's got some size, and then I know Drew Holiday and stuff like that, you know, and Chris Paul, they were possibilities, and so they may come over and stuff like that. But you got to get some point guards too, somebody who's going to be able to distribute it and really get people in the right plays. Like Draymond as your, you know, guy who's going to, you know, control the offense and set the pace. Nah, he does it in Golden State, but I'm not trying to see that at international ball.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think that's it's interesting. It's a weird kind of lineup. It's kind of like they put together like whoever they could find. You know, Kevin Love was an interesting pick. I feel like he was kind of a leftover because a lot of guys turned down their invitations. So he kind of wanted to. I feel like he's not really going to get many minutes in the big when it actually comes down to the actual tournament. Same with Jeremy Grant. You know, they're going to need some size, and I think that's true. It's kind of an interesting group.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely an interesting group. And I'm on the same page with Paul as if I'm not that worried. But what I don't like is people downplaying them losing 2 exhibitions back to back. Because if I'm correct, I think we've only lost 2 exhibitions in the last 30 years. So, you know, to lose 2 back to back to only 1, well, that's even worse.
No. I got something to say.
Okay, all right, my bad. But no, to lose the same amount of games in the exhibition that we've lost in the last 30 years, that means something. And so I want to go back to what Jarvis said. He said that international teams are not like when the Dream Team played, and that is an absolute fact.
100%.
Number one,
you got mad NBA players on these teams.
First, you have mad NBA players. Second, you have mad footage now, and people learning how to play the game professionally. So it's like all these training videos on YouTube, like these kids are no longer just at the park shooting by themselves. Like they're training themselves. Like I was talking with my homeboy who went to Fordham, and he's a physical trainer, and he was just saying like when we played, you know, athletics like as youth, we just showed up to practice and did with the coach. But now the kids are training year round. So, you know, by the time they get to this age where they can be on the Olympics for their country, like they're ready to go. Not like with the teams of the past have seen, the American teams of the past have seen. So we're in a different era. One, where the playing field is more level. And 2, these players haven't played together. Our Team USA has not played together. And their teams, you know, aside from their NBA players who are flying in, more than likely have team. Yeah, more than likely have practice together. They have continuity. The Nigeria team specifically has Mike Brown as a coach. I didn't even know that was possible. I didn't know that. I thought you had to be from somewhere to coach, but I didn't know that you could just say, "Hey, I want to coach that country." So it was like they had great defense against the United States team because everyone knows Mike Brown's known for his defensive prowess. So it's like some of these teams can be a threat in a tournament. Am I worried? No, I think we have overwhelming the most talent. We do have the best player in the world. But like y'all said previously, like AJ said previously, I would have loved to see Kevin Durant show a little more initiative, even just to pass the ball in the first game, because he went at one in the fourth quarter. He missed like 6 shots straight at one point, and so it's like, you know, if that were any other superstar, if that were Kobe, Jordan, or Bron, they would have had a field day with that. So it's like, bro, you got to live up to all of this capping that you've been doing, like burner accounts, getting upset when people don't say you're the best player. You want all of this credit. Deliver, bro. This is the second time in recent you're not delivering.
Heavy is the head.
Just like Tori was saying, like you say, the best player in the world supposed to carry this team.
I do want to say something. I think with the way, like, you know, speaking of international ball, like it takes me back to that finals when it was the Mavs versus the Heat. You know, this team, like our Olympic team, just been thrown together, and they just think that they're gonna go out there and go against teams that are top to bottom. You know, like a fit. They may not have collectively the best talent, but as a roster, they play good team defense. They know where each other is going to be on the floor. They have that continuity, which is a good thing when you're in a short-term tournament. We've been playing together for this time. There's no warming up period. There's no, in this moment, who's going to do this or who's going to do that. There's no, I'm just going to take these shots because I don't know when the next time I'm going to be in this, spot to take these shots. So I think that, it's a sense of, continuity, but then also the NBA players it's a lose-lose for them, to be quite honest, because when they win, don't nobody care. You're supposed to do that. So it's no like really like pride that you get for winning the gold medal like the other, events do when you go over to the Olympics. We good in a whole bunch of other shit too in the Olympics, but they still get celebrated when they do it. The NBA players get those gold medals. Oh, you play on like you're in the best league in the world. You're supposed to do that. So it really doesn't spark no like I'm doing this for a reason. It's just more so like, man, hey, we doing this for free. We in LA Fitness. That's how I be looking like they be playing. They be in them pickup games over in LA Fitness.
I don't know if I'm hearing this. I agree with everything that each one of y'all said, but am I hearing some excuses?
No, I'm not saying no excuses. All I'm saying is don't nobody care, but like it's a lose-lose. That's all I'm saying. If they win, yeah, you were supposed to do that. But if you lose, now you're gonna get killed.
All right, I got that. Paul, you giving them you gave him a little excuse?
I kind of agree with it. I don't know. I think that like it is true. It's tough you kind of expected that you're going to win it all, when you're Team USA, and they haven't played up to par. That's definitely the key and, the most important thing. But, this team they're going to figure it out, I think. And they're going to, come time for the actual games, they're going to figure it out. They're going to be able to dominate again. It's just, there's a lot of good international talent. And, there's no excuse because top to bottom, if you look at every roster that's in the Olympics, the United States team has by far the most talented roster, as we do every year. But there's a lot of good talent. And, like some of the comments were saying, these guys play together all year round. Nowadays we see 5, 6, 7 international guys getting taken in the first round of every year's NBA draft. There's more than ever. Tremendous talent coming out of every single continent. Everybody's playing, and I think it can catch up to them. You got to be well versed. You can't just kind of go into it expecting like, oh, we got just a bunch of NBA stars out here, like we'll figure it out. But I think once they got a good coach, Popovich is great. What do you guys think about Pop getting into it with that reporter after the second loss? That was an interesting one. That was interesting. Go
ahead, say it.
I thought that he was kind of like over exaggerating a little bit. I thought that he was right with the fact that you can't downplay the other countries and kind of say that like everything's a blowout and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I keep going back and forth with the Pop's comments. I feel like it was kind of blown up. I feel like it wasn't as fierce as some people were like taking it as too. He kind of was just infuriated with the moment. Yep. Pop's getting up there in age too. He's not necessarily.
Pop never has given media sound bites that he's never said what people wanted. He's always said what he wanted. And so that's exactly what I expected from Pop.
Pop gonna pop.
Pop gonna pop.
And, Pop gonna pop, snapcracker pop. But they feeling this pressure. Come on now. 2 exhibition losses. Like, first off, I gave you the Nigeria joint. Okay, cool. You lost to Nigeria. Yeah, of course. And you shouldn't. I'm like, you lost. Then you go out there and lose Australia. You're playing now. I don't know the score. It is what it is. But come on now. At the end of the day, we still got the best players. I know y'all giving credit to some of these other countries and their players, and they got NBA talent. But we still putting out some of the best. This is unexcusable.
Yeah,
like
the best.
Like, come on now,
the best player in the world on the team.
You got Pop supposed to be one of the best coaches of all time. He's on the all-time coaching list.
That's a fact.
This is unacceptable. What they put, the product they putting out there is unacceptable. They're not even scoring. Like you feel saying at the end of the day, we talking about defense. They ain't even putting up buckets. Like,
Damn,
that
Jason Tatum air ball was disgusting.
It was terrible. But
I honestly really think the first game, I think the international rules got them.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I think because, like, remember when I said Kevin Durant
had crying for foul all the damn time.
But he had that shit. He had that stretch, where he missed a couple shots, 5 or 6 shots in a row, and he didn't pass. But then he got an easy bucket and he got hot. He hit a couple threes, but it's like it's 10-minute quarters. Now, if they would have had 2 more minutes, they probably would have came back in that game. But it's like you don't understand where you're at, understand the rules. You're supposed to be a professional and one of the greatest players. So it's just like the toe on the line, where everybody was saying, if his toe wasn't on the line. Bro, it's awareness. That is an attribute. You have to know how much time is left in the game. You have to know that this is not an NBA game. This is an international game. So it's like, I don't want to hear some of those things when we're talking about one of the best players in the world. So
I'm glad you said that. I ain't mean to cut
nah,
you
you
off.
good.
But Chris Hayes reported on his own sideline sources on Instagram, if y'all want to see this post, multiple players from Jason Tatum to Bradley Beal have been staring down the officials following no calls, as they're accustomed to receiving touch fouls.
There you go.
Accustomed to receiving touch fouls and star treatment in officiating the NBA game. And like it's more slide. You said it. I just want to make sure we touch on that. The post is on sideline sources. We'll repost it in our Instagram story. But y'all going out there, y'all know y'all getting all this preferential treatment in the NBA. You can do a whole bunch of other stuff in the NBA, and FIBA is not having that.
No.
This is grown man basketball out here.
No blood, no foul, baby.
And the only one who understands that is Draymond. You see how Draymond playing his defense? He's getting away with murder out there.
People, I've been waiting for this all my life.
Draymond said, who couldn't play in the 90s?
I seen one when they was making their comeback against Nigeria, they let Draymond get away with murder. I'm like, bro, that's got to be a foul.
We got to reel him back. Hey, look. This how we do in the NBA.
That's just a sign that they need to go out there and get Draymond. They need to go get Pat Bev. They need to get all them annoying ass defenders.
Yeah, and put them on the team.
And really put them on the team.
That's a fact.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't want Pat Bev nowhere.
Yeah, that's you're right. I forgot about what he did this season. I'm done with Pat Bev for the rest of his career.
Do you know how much some other countries would hate us if Pat Bev was out there representing the USA on the basketball?
Because he's basically a coward.
We hate us for Pat Beverly, like to other country. But the part that I wanted to touch on before we transition, y'all said Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Devin Booker. They waiting on those 3. Bruh,
why?
Because
no,
they are.
Go ahead.
They are waiting on those.
Go ahead.
Because, like I told you, and what nobody wants to admit, we are witnessing the change of the guard. Those are some of the better players in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't care if those aren't the names that we expected, that we thought would be there. The world doesn't always give us what we expect. Those are some of the top players in the world right now, and we need them. Team USA needs them, so they should be waiting on them.
But why, bro? They in the finals.
I don't know because they're ascending to that level. Chris Middleton is proven. He's proven to us that he's one of those guys. Devin Booker is proven to us that he's one of those guys, and some of those other guys that are there are proven to us who are not like Grant is there. We got Kevin Love there.
But I'm not talking about their skill level, brother. Because even now, because I understand what you're saying, and I agree with your point.
I'm with you here,
bro. If they finish the finals next week, you mean to tell me they got to immediately go over to Tokyo?
Yeah,
they don't get no break,
and that's sad.
You don't get no break. So you mean to tell me we can replace them at all? And come on, let's even think logically.
All of these players in the NBA, all these players in the NBA, and y'all
we that desperate for those. We can't send nobody else to beat Nigeria. You feel y'all feel what I'm saying? We can't send nobody else. You over there choked up because we can't send nobody else. Nah. I just don't get it. I just
But you gotta put some respect on Nigerian name. You can't.
I'm I'm not disrespecting them at all. It could have been it can be a close game. We still putting out the best. We ain't. Hey, it's a league in Nigeria. Everybody's striving to go play in the Nigerian league other than J. Cole.
I was about to say.
Other than J. Cole, they trying to play in the NBA. That means we are putting the best players in the world. We're supposed to be the best player in the world. We keep saying that, right? So you mean to tell me that we can't do nothing? We can't replace those 3 weeks. It's like, oh, we can't wait till Drew Holiday get over here, bro.
I ain't never heard no NBA team say that. Like,
man,
like your savior.
It's gonna be different when Chris Middleton get over here. Oh man, when Devin Booker get over here, you mean to tell me we can't bring nobody else?
Chris Middleton already proved he only good at home. So what are you gonna do in Tokyo?
Put some respect on his name.
It's plenty of respect on his name, but logically, the NBA shouldn't even allow that, bro. You mean to tell me, like I said, when you go over to Tokyo with confetti on you? Come on now, that don't even make logical sense. You only get a week off.
Nah. That's bad. Nah, that's bad.
Yeah, I don't think
that's what got me choked up when you said that. They don't even get no time off.
You don't get no time off. It like I said, Tokyo ain't no quick flight.
They work for this. Basically, they work for Amazon. Ain't no PTO.
Yeah, I know. I don't see them going over like when the finals are already over. I don't see Drew. I don't see Middleton. I don't see any of them like really going over because it's been such a long and treacherous past year too. You know, you got the bubble and then they had 2 months off and they're going right into the season. I didn't blame a lot of the bigger stars for opting out and not playing in the Olympics, taking this off season to get ready because it's going to jump right back into the regular schedule in October too. So
and they're doing this for free.
Exactly.
I don't think they should have asked anybody in the playoffs to be in the Olympic teams. Hey, all y'all motherfuckers who got eliminated earlier, even you teams that was in the play-in game that got sent home. There's plenty of y'all that can come over here and on the Olympic team, and we can do something.
You specifically talking this year or in general?
Honestly, I would enjoy.
You at least get a month if they went to the finals before you get to the normal Olympics. You get a month rest. In normal years, yes, but especially now, like bro, like nobody in the playoffs should be on the Olympic team. That should be your reward that you like. Hey, we made the playoffs. I get to take a break. Y'all other motherfuckers go over there, bring home some gold, and then that's it.
But they want to.
I guarantee you,
some players want to play in the Olympics.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But if you don't want to, they shouldn't be ringing your line as the savior.
Yeah, but if we're losing exhibition games, and some of our better players are still playing. And whose comment?
I'm about I got
Andrew. We do. Of course we do.
You gotta read it. You gotta read it, bro.
You're right. So Drew says, so you don't think that book makes them better though? Of course we do think that book makes them better, but
who's we?
I think we're all in agreement.
I'm not.
You don't think book makes the team better?
No.
Well, all of us except Hill. You in agreement, Paul?
Yeah, I'm in agreement.
Yeah, so all of us except Hill think that book makes the team better. But to Hill's point, and this is why I do agree with Hill.
You ain't asked me.
If you don't think that book, you come on, bro. Then you're a terrible Suns fan. But anyway, what I do agree with Hill is it shouldn't have to be. We should not have to be waiting on anybody in the finals to come save the day. Even if it was Bron and we were waiting, we shouldn't have to. They are like Paul said. We looked at that roster top to bottom. It is the best roster in the world, and it should be running away with these games. And hopefully, they do win the gold medal, even though they're expected to. But it's like I've also seen some of those teams in the past have that pride and say, like the Redeem team, they had that pride and said, "We're going out, and we're taking this gold medal, and we'll stomp on whoever to get it." The Dream team said the same thing. So it's like we seen teams that didn't have that come home with not the gold medal. So it's like it's a sense of pride thing.
And I want to get to Mark's question here. I mean, his statement here. He's saying they honestly shouldn't need Book. They just assing it up on their own, and that's what I was going to say.
That's a fact.
Yeah, Book makes them better. But if you just go to their starting five and you got a starting five with Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard and Jason Tatum, and then you throw Draymond Green in there. You don't, because people have been arguing, oh, Jason Tatum better than Devin Booker anyway. So if you got Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, and Dame Lillard as your four, kind of guard forward players, Book coming off the bench anyway. So what? Like, it's not like he's going, like, you don't need him to go out there and play 30 minutes a game anyway. So my whole thing is, why are you waiting on Book? Book shouldn't be the one that's going to put you over the hump to gold. You supposed to have that roster. He's just supposed to be a bonus. So one game you don't got to start Jason Tatum or Damian Lillard or something like that.
And that's what I meant by he wouldn't make him better. It's a mute point, But the goal for this one right here, this is the part that pissed me off at Jarvis Cannon. He said they got a bunch of beta dog and no alpha, no leadership. And what pissed me off the most about Kevin Durant's statement that he made was, we're honoring Kobe. We're going out there with that Mamba mentality. He left an imprint on the Olympic team. And then you go out there and do that?
And I hate that, because
that's why
see, Kevin Durant was the wrong person to say that, because you do have an alpha on that team. It's Draymond Green, the same motherfucker who called Kevin Durant a bitch.
Yeah,
you got an alpha personality. You got leadership on that team. And I don't want to hear that. Because you got Pop, you have players that will step up, will be leaders, but it's just a poorly constructed team. And then KD just didn't
he's
take
the
over
de facto leader. He's a de facto leader, so of course they're being passive.
He's the leader just because he's good. He ain't a leader,
but he's not a leader of men.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
He's not a leader. He's just the best player on the team.
And I know, but
it's different
in this world, our society. When you're the best, they make you the de facto leader sometimes. But it's like everybody don't have that leadership, and we're seeing it. So it's like, if I'm gonna come out of my mouth and say Mamba mentality, you're gonna have to drag me off that court. Like,
I just hate how that gets tossed around, because it's just Mamba mentality. No, you don't. Like, you don't have that mentality. And
did you see the arrogance that they put into? There's a reason that the whole Nike campaign was built off arrogance. Like, he never even said, like, he only said you're welcome to people in that whole Mamba mentality campaign. Like, it's like, bro, it's like I'm saving your life, basically. Like, come on. So it's like the arrogance of that campaign is like, you can go out there and be nonchalant with it. It's that nonchalantness.
Mm-hmm.
That was tough.
Yeah, that was fucking you up.
Yeah, it was, man. But I feel like that is what gets KD his flack, because if you're gonna be the leader, if you're gonna be the best in the world, you can't just want the glory. You gotta be there the whole time. So it's like, all right. So it's like all the other great leaders, they took it on the head. And it's like, I always come back to that burner account. It's like, bro, it's like no one else would have done that. Like, can you imagine Kobe tweeting, trying to convince other people that Kobe's the GOAT? It's like, I was having this conversation with my family recently. Like, if you would have challenged Kobe when Kobe was in his prime to say that he wasn't the best player in the league, he wouldn't even acknowledge you. Yeah. He wouldn't even acknowledge you. It would have been absolutely funny to him, because he knew beyond a shadow of a doubt. And so if you have to yell at the top of your lungs that I'm the best, then maybe you're not.
And like, I'm gonna take it back to what I said a couple episodes ago. He wants to be in that conversation so bad, but he's not mentally tough. And the whole thing that's really fucking him up is his whole career. He been shooting at LeBron. He can't even break through that Bron glass ceiling right now. And that's what's really fucking him up. That's why I'm saying, like, he can't get in the conversation of the GOATs, because you an elite player, but you've been shooting at the top dog your entire career. Even when you won a championship, you were still looked at like, oh, but they're still Bron. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think regardless, and then now, say what you want, but it's like, even with LeBron getting old now, it's like, hey, KD, Giannis, look what Giannis is doing.
Yeah, you missed your window. I said this was your year.
Hey, you got a whole bunch of competition now. So
Giannis, how you gonna do it next year, man?
He sent you home, and I fuck with Giannis because he get like, if Ben Simmons had Giannis mentality, he would not be on the trade block right now because Giannis going out there and he gonna do what the fuck he got to do, even if it ain't working. He gonna be like, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna do it because this is what I do.
Well, you segued us here.
Yeah.
Somebody's on the trade block. Now, Paul, how you feel about your guy? I'm calling you guy. I'm just I don't even know if he's your guy now. But.
Nah, not at all. It's an interesting situation, and I'm not surprised in the least bit that he's on the trade block. You know, the whole work ethic thing has been thrown around, and he hasn't gotten his jump shot, Ben Simmons. He hasn't developed anything on the offensive end, and I think the Sixers are kind of held back by him. I really do. I think that there's Joel Embiid is a stud. Tobias Harris is a great secondary player, but Ben Simmons really doesn't fit into the team. A lot of people are saying, the Warriors could be a good fit for Ben Simmons because he does everything that could support Steph and Clay. He can space the floor, he can handle the ball, and he can dish it out too. And you don't have to worry about him needing to become that offensive player. When he's with Philly, they need more of a true point guard, I think. Kyle Lowry is a Philly native. I think that trading him, getting Kyle Lowry could be a huge upgrade for Philadelphia. That's the kind of guy that they need. A guy who can run the point, a winner, a playmaker, somebody who can hit the three ball too. I think that a Ben Simmons trade makes a lot of sense, but I really think that it's going to be interesting to find a suitor. I think that the Warriors could be I think the Warriors really could be in on him. I think that they got the 2 lottery picks this year. They could definitely look to trade those, and he could be a good fit. And I see that Andrew Wiggins too. They've been talking about possibly getting dealt back for Ben Simmons in Philadelphia. I think that would be kind of interesting. But Wiggins, Embiid, and Harris, big three, I think could fit a little bit better with Kyle Lowry. You get an addition like Kyle Lowry. I think that it's the smart move really to try to move on from Ben Simmons. It's going to be interesting though to see what kind of suitors he has if the Warriors are a true landing spot.
And we actually we did some trade scenarios ourselves, and it literally came up with one of them was that Warriors trade that you mentioned with Wiggins in the first round pick. But as you see with a lot of people in our group, they're saying Wiggins is boo-boo. Do you have to throw someone like Draymond in there too, just to kind of add to it?
Yeah,
you definitely might.
The only problem is, especially in the NBA, you have to have salaries that match up in order to make trades. That's the key, different than any other sport. So in order for the Warriors to get a Ben Simmons, they would probably have to trade Wiggins. The Sixers would need to bring Wiggins back in order to get Simmons off. They're going to have to trade him to somebody who has a very similar contract in the 20 to 30 range. Yeah. So it's tough. Wiggins might not be the biggest fit in the Philly. He's kind of very similar to Tobias Harris. Honestly, I think Tobias Harris is a better player. I think that it would be kind of an interesting fit, but you need to do something like that in order to get that trade done.
Here's my thing go ahead, Kenna.
I was just going to say, what's funny is that Paul came on here and said a lot of the things that we have said all year. And there's Philly fans in here saying facts. You know what, Philly? Well, first of all, thank you, Paul. Thank you for justifying, that we weren't just hating. And thank you for making them say facts, because that just lets me know that sometimes they because some of them personally know us, that they just don't like what we say. But I agree with everything you said. I do not, especially what you saying that Wiggins, kind of probably wouldn't fit the mold. And that's why I kind of said last week on one of our episodes that I really, and they kind of was like, I don't know, but I think De'Aaron Fox would be a good trade.
That could be a good one, yeah.
Well, I really feel like he can complete what Philly needs to do, because one, he's a triple threat at point guard. I mean, he can shoot, he can drive, and he can dish. And I just him and Joel with Tobias on the wing, I feel like that would be deadly. I would actually be scared of that. And they're young, so it's like, whew. But you know, that remains to be seen. That's what I think they should do. That's what I think, you know, they should try to make that trade happen. And I feel like the contracts kind of match up with, you know, and Fox is on his last year, so they could try to re-sign him.
And here's my thing, though, with, you know, say what you want about Andrew Wiggins and what you think about him. He's going to come in there. He's going to defend.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's athletic, and he may not space the floor like a shooter that you want, but guess what? He will shoot it, and he will hit some. Like he had his best shooting season last year from the 3-point, if I'm not mistaken. He was almost at like 40%, on 3-point percentage. So that's a lot better than someone who won't shoot it and can still give you 18 points a game.
Yeah.
So say what you want about the fit. I think he would
defend.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think you would lose. Like you'll lose a little bit in, you know, defense when it comes to Ben Simmons versus Andrew Wiggins, but it's going to get supplemented on the offensive end. I think that's an even trade-off, because now regardless, you still have to guard Andrew Wiggins on the wing. You're not finna just leave him open and let him shoot it. So yeah. You can say what you want about Wiggins being boo-boo, but sometimes fits matter. And Andrew Wiggins is a better fit than Ben Simmons, and he ain't scared to fucking shoot.
But this is my thing about what the hell did you expect to get for Ben Simmons? But
if you would have listened to AJ, and that was our point.
I was going to give him his credit.
No, I'm with him. I know.
I just wanted to say.
Like when AJ was like, his value is so down, you know, that you got now. Obviously, like say Paul stated, you're going to have to match some of these contracts to get some of these players. So, like I said, who the hell do you expect to get back? Now they're obviously asking for another all-star caliber player. You can ask for all you want.
I don't know what I'm saying.
You
got all-star player money?
Yeah, that's what it is. You can ask for whatever you want. I don't have to give you anything. Like you said. Because think about it. Like another trade that they had that was already that the Sixers rejected was the Malcolm Brogdon trade,
which was dumb.
Yeah. It wasn't dumb. It was early.
It didn't sound. It's not sexy enough.
You feel right. It's not sexy. Like you said. Like everything that you just said about Andrew Wiggins. Let's add that to Malcolm Brogdon. He's giving you pretty much everything that you're lacking from Ben Simmons, and he still can defend. It's a better team fit than what you have going on.
For sure.
But here's what I always like to say. I know you said it was early. It was an early offer. Sometimes your first offer is your best offer.
Sometimes.
A lot of times.
So sometimes, and then because now people might start looking around like, well, shit, if they don't want Malcolm Brogdon, I'm not finna give them this. Like, y'all got the problem. Y'all want to get rid of him. And now we're gonna have to force your hand. Keep him. And see where y'all go in the playoffs again.
It's another saying that I'm losing right now, but you don't never just take the first offer though. Obviously, too. It's another saying that I can't remember, but you just don't take the first offer. And that was the first reported offer that we've heard.
But that's when. Listen.
If Angela Simmons
made an offer that you cannot refuse,
I'm taking it. I ain't gonna just be like no.
If you are made an offer that you cannot refuse,
Lizzo,
you take it.
They didn't offer them Lizzo.
Okay. We could, Mr.
They
Loud,
offered them a decent deal. You see what I'm saying? So it's like for what they have,
that's the floor.
And to your point here, who else do you expect to get? So it's
I understand it, but all I said, that's the floor. Now can we search for some more things?
Yeah, but now when you double back, when you search the floor and realize that it's only garbage on here, and when you come back, he's no longer on the table.
Hey.
And now if he is on the table, it's on the table with you coming off of something more this time.
And that's the art of negotiations.
That's the art of negotiation.
So
it's like when you don't take the first deal, you have leverage. You see what I'm saying? You have to have leverage. Right now, if you're trying to move Ben Simmons, you don't have leverage.
because they're trying to move Ben Simmons. People ain't just beating down the door to get Ben
You
Simmons.
see what I'm saying?
No.
They wouldn't have offered Malcolm Brogdon.
It is some of these teams that can attract free agents are knocking down the door to get Ben Simmons because they still hoping that he can reach his superstar potential. I mean, it is like you said, let some of this die down. Like the joke still ain't died down yet, so just let it die down, and then its value is going to be.
Did y'all see that meme of Ben Simmons and Shorty at the game, and it was like, Ben Simmons, are you a free throw? Yes, I miss you.
Let's go back. Let's revisit this Warriors trade with Ben Simmons and Draymond Green be two liabilities on offense, though. That's a lot of stress on three players to carry the load. And that's why that's why you just trade Draymond for Ben Simmons. And they 2 first-round picks. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, trade Draymond for Ben Simmons.
And they're 2 first-round picks. I would do that in a heartbeat.
I'm gonna offer one first.
Of course, see, there you go. But then they decline they take the first offer.
Hey,
because I need to get them. I need that. Like I said, they don't have no leverage. So if I am offering them, I am offering bad deals. But that's not my fault.
My first round pick looking pretty good.
Y'all know how y'all do. Paul, you play fantasy football?
Oh, of course.
You ever hear somebody this person's on the block?
Yeah, for sure.
And everybody send them dumbest trades they can until you actually get into negotiations. This is what people are doing to Philly right now. They sending some stupid trades and be like, hey, look, y'all that mad at them? Y'all ready to get rid of them that bad?
Let's see. Yeah.
Let's see what you're doing.
Yeah, they want to see what the ceiling is for him, or the floor is for him, and see how high the ceiling can go. Basically,
fuck around and get Draymond straight up.
Yeah,
you feel? Hey, you feel what I'm saying? But yeah. I do believe that Malcolm Brogdon and that first round pick is the floor for Ben Simmons Ben Simmons trade. And like I said, they really don't. I mean, the draft is soon. Free agency, NBA free agency does move fast. I don't really know what Rick Carlisle wants to do with. I don't know what Indiana wants to do. I don't know if they want to blow it up or they want to stay the course. I don't know what they want to do.
Yeah. Well, just brought in Carlisle. I feel like they would probably be going in a direction where they feel like they should have been at the top of the East this year, and they were so poorly coached. They had a lot of injuries. That was a huge issue for them. I think that they're going to come back and try to be strong. They're going to. I've been seeing that they want to trade their first round pick, try to get more veteran depth. So I think honestly, they're probably going to move into the. More into the notion that they're going to try to get back to the top of the East next year.
Should have just kept Nate McMillan. Let him get a healthy team. But hey,
this is the righting of a wrong. This is the righting of a wrong of getting rid of Nate McMillan, and you go get Rick Carlisle. Understand that. Yeah. But their roster moves is going to be telling of what are they really going to do. Because if they start to move in Miles Turner, get rid of Brogdon, that sounds like blow it up.
Blow it up, start it over.
Yeah.
So they need to tear me down the house and build a whole new house.
Yeah.
All right, now.
Y'all can keep them, Ross. Keep them. And next year, don't talk to me about your championship aspirations because I want to say the same thing to y'all. Like, bro, y'all don't go deep in the playoffs, bro.
And you can't. When he becomes a liability, like I say, everybody's always, his strength is, he's a playmaker. He's 6'10". He's athletic. He can, big point guard. He can play defense, all NBA defense, and then he can't do anything on offense. He becomes a liability. That doesn't outweigh any.
But then you can't. This is my thing. There's no way that you can't get up to a 70% in free throw minimum. Like, what are you doing at practice? And I just hate saying that. Like, it ain't like you don't know how to shoot, Ben Simmons. You know how to shoot. And if you shoot 1,000 free throws at practice instead of working on whatever the hell else you're already good at, passing and dribbling, stop doing that for the next 6 months and get a free throw at least so that they can't hack a bend you. That's number one. As soon as they went to the hacker Shaq said, I have to what? make my free throws when they count. And they started hacking the shot. And Lee said, if I can be 50% during that time, which is not even 70, and I believe, Ben, you can get to 70. But if you could be 50, 60%, you weren't hitting anything. Like air balls, scared to shoot.
Because here's my thing. Like, if you just look at it throughout history with all the players who have gone through the hacker, whatever, it's almost like they've eventually improved on that. And it's like, and
Dwight
it's just
did.
Dwight, like they've all done it. Shit, even Giannis has been like almost 60%, these playoffs. It's like, how
he was lights out the other night.
Bro, and literally it kicked, like that literally was one of the reasons that we just got our ass kicked, because he just kept getting to the rim, and when he did get fouled, he was making the shits.
Yeah. That's the difference between good talent and someone who becomes a star.
Hard work beat talent. If talent don't work.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And that's what it takes to become an NBA star. You have to realize the league that surrounds you right now. It's a shooting league right now, and you have to work on it. There's no room for a player like Simmons that can't make his free throws. If he's going to live up to that first overall pick, it's got to come down to, at the very least, being able to make his free throws. Even if he avoids the 3-pointer and takes primarily long twos, like that's a huge upgrade than where he's at right now.
Thank you.
Mr. Lyles, I want to correct you, because I've said this before. Ben Simmons has not reached his peak at all. Ben Simmons is the same exact player he was when he came into the league. He has done absolutely nothing to make you think he has progressed from day one when he came into the league. He is the same exact player. I don't care if he, has to become a 3-point shooter. He, at one point, we thought, he got a little mid-range, but it was really just a little turnaround from like 5-6 feet away. He didn't expand his game nothing outside of what he's done from the moment he came in the league. He ain't got better at free throws. He ain't got better at shooting. All he is, I'm going to assist, defend, and get to the bucket. And it's only going to help you for so long, because teams are always going to catch up to you.
Like I said, he's a product of media manipulation. Hey, but Paul, who'd you have winning the finals?
I was going back and forth for so long, but I decided Suns in 7. That's what I came down to. I kept going back and forth. This was the exact finals that I wanted to see happen, because I wanted to see a Giannis for CP3. I'd be happy with either one of them winning.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see, KD in it again. Obviously, I hate the Nets since I'm a Knicks fan, but I wanted to see. I really wanted to see Giannis make it to that point. Same with Chris Paul, but I really think that the Suns are, as a team, playing much more developed than the Bucks are. The Bucks are lacking a lot of stuff, and the Dante DiVincenzo injury is big, and I feel like they're lacking a big man too. They 100% need front court help, and they need to start addressing that too. Brook Lopez can only be a Band-Aid for so long. He's an all right 3-point shooter at this point, but he's not the Brook Lopez that he was 10 years ago with the Nets.
No.
The Bucks aren't lacking a big man.
It's Giannis.
It's Giannis.
That's true.
And that's one of the things that really hurt the Suns, last game, is because Giannis really played like a big man. Giannis didn't go out there and say, let me see if I can knock down somebody 3. No, I'm gonna get to the paint. You either gonna foul me or I'm gonna dunk on you. And that's really what he did. And then he got that little turnaround going too. So it's like he did what Giannis did, and then at home, Drew and Middleton did what people expected them to do. So it was almost like that was going to be a hard team to beat.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this, and this is for all of y'all. So I text AJ this. I was disappointed specifically in Booker last game and Ayton. What are y'all thoughts? Do you think it's just playing away, or do you feel like it was coaching, or do you feel like they just were not aggressive and did not just play well?
Who y'all can go first.
Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I think It's tough. Booker struggled a little bit. I think Booker's relying too much on his 3-point shot right now, and that's the big issue. He's lethal inside the 3-point line, and he also Cam Johnson. You got Cam Payne. You got Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder a little bit, but they can all hit the 3 ball. And Devin Booker's got to primarily be the assassin inside the 3-point line that he has basically made a living off of. And I think that's one of the keys. He's kind of focusing on the 3-point shot. He's trying to match. I feel like it's difficult because, they're still young. They're seeing this Bucks team are a bunch of 3-point snipers. They're trying to match with them in the front court. And it's difficult because I think that they're trying to play exactly like the Bucks want to play, but the Bucks have a different set of kind of team than the Suns have. I think that it's a difficult situation. The Suns just looked out of a loop a little bit. Chris Paul got them back, but you kind of saw that coming when the series was going to Milwaukee, though. You knew the Suns were due for a little bit of an implosion. The Bucks are too good of a team to just roll over and go down 3-0. So I'm not really too worried about it. I think Booker's just got to worry more about his inside game and driving to the hoop.
So I'm gonna put a lot of this on coaching. Yes, Book played terrible, and y'all know I love Monty Williams, but
I don't know no more.
Monty, I need
Nothing wrong with holding him accountable.
I get messed with him.
And so I put a lot of this on coaching because it's how he's choosing to defend Giannis and having Ayton go straight up with him.
Yeah,
Giannis is not Joker.
No,
you can put DeAndre Ayton on Joker because he's not going to just blow past you and you got to worry about him getting to the cup and stuff like that. You can kind of guard him a little straight up. And Giannis, he's giving Ayton the blues because he's just going to run at him full speed and get him in foul trouble. You need to help Ayton to keep him out of foul trouble. And so you got to rotate. You got to give him some help. And I think another adjustment that I would make is I would start Cam Johnson over Jay Crowder because I like what offensively
Cam Johnson's been great.
He's looking like the hot hand. And so I think if you allowed Cam Johnson to be in the starting lineup with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, and then Ayton, it's almost like on offense, you can kind of have that old Orlando Magic offense when you had all those shooters surrounding Dwight and allow kind of, DeAndre to kind of work with his back to the basket a little bit more and assert himself into the game and get him not only like what I loved what Monty said. And he was like, you don't have to, enforce your will on the game by stats. Just do it by force. And I think allowing him to get in there on the boards and clean up and get putbacks and stuff like that would also allow Giannis to get into the game and then allow, if Devin Booker, isn't hitting his threes and Chris Paul's not taking threes, having Cam Johnson in there, who's almost kind of like a knockdown 3-point shooter, but also will slash and cut to the basket and get you those points that way. I think it allowed that offense to run a little bit better instead of having Jay Crowder just camp at the 3-point line. And so I think it's going to make you a little bit harder to defend by making those two adjustments.
I messed up by letting you go ahead. You halfway took some of my points.
I saw it. I'm sorry.
But I mean, it's your team, so I had to let you go. But to answer one part of your question, I think Booker would be fine.
Yeah, I think he's just pressing.
Some of them, yeah, he was just pressing, like say Paul said. He was trying to catch lightning in the bottle. I'm off.
Exactly.
Let me try to press and let me shoot these three. Let me get hot. Let me get hot instead of letting the game come to him. Ayton just going to have to grow up. And like AJ said, this is not Joker. This is not AD in the previous, these are not really post players. You checking Greek, and Greek is doing everything he want to do. He's attacking you, going straight to your chest. But what I'm not disappointed in is they was feeding Ayton the last game.
Right.
That first quarter was amazing. So he just got to be smarter and just know I cannot get him, because if I'm not in foul trouble, they can't do a thing with me.
But
I don't give a damn. You got to grow up, bro. Like
to AJ's
grow up.
point, if he's going to be left one-on-one with Greek driving and attacking like that, how can he stay out of foul trouble?
And that's
If
my
that's
point.
the
Monty got to
defensive
help
plan,
him somehow.
And so that's why I asked you guys, you know, what, and I feel like it was beautiful that I had all three of you guys, because I feel like all of you all together nailed all of it. But it's like, I do feel like some of it falls on Monty, because he's going to be in foul trouble if he has to guard Giannis by himself, because Giannis is looking for contact when he drives past people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And that's what I like about Giannis.
Yeah. So it's like, you're going to be in foul trouble. So it's like, give me in a switch, give me in some help or something.
You got to watch some film, though. You got to watch some film on how he's attacking you.
That's true.
And you got to adjust. That's why I'm saying, I'm coming at him, and I'm saying you have to be smart. You have to grow up. I know you're young. I know this is your first time in this part of the game. You have to understand that they are attacking me. Where are they attacking me at? So let me just figure this part out and let me stay on the floor. I'm staying on the
CP
floor
will help him with that film.
Me staying on the floor is going to attack. And that's an adjustment. That's an adjustment Budenholzer made, though.
Absolutely. And I also want to just like, I don't want to, we're talking about what Aiden needs to do better. I also want to say that I'm wholeheartedly proud of what Aiden has done in this playoffs.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you go back and name some of the players that he's faced in this playoffs, he, like, for somebody so young, you basically went against, two MVPs and what people could, consider, maybe a top 5 player in AD. You know what I'm saying? So he's been out there going against some dogs.
Damn sure advanced level learning. Boy.
Oh, 100%. They've been taking his lunch, but he's been giving them the blues too a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what's making Aiden to one of the best young centers in the league. He's stepped up, and he's still young. It's difficult going up against this much star power. And obviously, when you're going up against a guy like Giannis, who is 6'11" and can do literally everything and drives right down your throat, and you have no idea, how to stay out of foul trouble and stuff. That's the kind of stuff the Bucks have the upper hand with. So it all comes down to coaching and, different kinds of play styles and all that kind of stuff. But I think the first 2 games, the way that they were able to neutralize Giannis was great. I think that they had a great setup on the offensive end too. They didn't worry about just chucking up threes. They didn't worry about going pace for pace with them. And they played good defense. And, Jay Crowder is a huge addition. Crowder is the X factor on defense. He really is. Crowder is amazing. Cam Johnson's been playing great. It's those secondary guys that have really been stepping up, and they're just going to have to keep continuing it.
But Hill, you brought up a good point, and it's like, once again, I was texting AJ, and he was kind of where he was like, "Is Mike going to make any adjustments?" But he clearly made adjustments. AJ.
Clearly,
but also what I want to say is it's just he made adjustments, of course, but Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday, when they went to the home court, they basically played like people thought they would.
But this home
Phoenix
court,
also.
I know. Really matter? I'm asking because I don't know. Is it really that much of a difference?
Obviously, bro.
100%.
But what is it? Is it the paint on the floor?
Cannon. No. Because what I said is the same thing I said about the bubble. Home court matters not for stars. Home court matters for your role players. Role players tend to play better at home because they're comfortable at home, and it's a familiar, safe environment. And
they're not role players, though. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, they're not role players, but shit, Bobby Portis.
Yeah, he is.
Bobby Portis.
I understand.
Man.
But Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday, they've been playing like role players on the road, and so they haven't they're not role players, but they're not the superstar. They're not the guy. Like when Giannis steps on the court, I don't care if we at home or on the road. Giannis, I expect the best out of you at all times. Chris Middleton, you don't if Chris Middleton give you a bad game, it's like, damn, hey Chris, we need a little bit more from you, but it's not an expectation.
No, it's an expectation at this point because every time he has a bad game, they lose.
They
lose. Like I said, y'all waiting him to go over to Tokyo. We need his ass. We need his ass to show up in Phoenix.
That's what I just said. I was like, he only been good at home. He ain't gonna be good in Tokyo.
But what I'm saying, I got to give you some pushback, Paul, in a little bit. My thing about this though is think about it. Devin Booker has, he hasn't really been playing like Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Giannis has been playing lights out. Giannis, they haven't really figured out Giannis the entire series. Let's be honest. Yeah. The first game we were shocked that he played, and he still was looking like Giannis. The game got out of hand, but cool.
But his knee was looking good.
They haven't really figured out Giannis. Like I said, Drew and Chris played terrible too. So think about it. Drew and Chris played terrible. They lost. Booker played terrible. They lost. I think this game is going to come down to game 5.
Yeah.
And whoever wins game 5, whoever wins game 5
got the series.
They got the series. Because I believe Wednesday, I believe tomorrow, I think the Bucks is going to win again.
Yeah.
Man, and I'm excited. And that's why it's like people were saying that this finals wasn't the one. I'm excited if it gets back 2-2.
We are getting what we saying when we text each other. This game is lit. We are getting quality basketball. I understand we don't have Bron, we don't have KD, we don't have Steph, we don't have Kawhi, we don't have the big name. But hey, we are getting quality basketball. This is what you want, right?
That's what I'm saying. Everyone said they were so tired of seeing the super teams in the finals. Now, guess what? You got 2 teams that ain't super teams from small markets, and you getting showcased new players now. Now people are starting to be like, oh, DeAndre Ayton, he nice. Oh, Devin Booker, he can ball. Giannis, he really liked that. I just thought he was some dude who got to the playoffs and fizzled out. People started to talk about goddamn Mikal Bridges, like, he's a good 3-and-D player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, his 3-ball got better, man.
Yeah.
For sure. 3-ball got better.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that has been the most annoying is the people who have this finals isn't that interesting. There's no Lakers, there's no Nets. We wanted to see a Nets versus Lakers, blah blah blah. The real basketball fans, I think, truly enjoy this one more than ever because what's better than going out and seeing Giannis win his first ring or Chris Paul win his first ring rather than seeing LeBron win his 5th or KD win his 3rd.
I'm excited.
That's what a diehard NBA fan wants to see. I'm enjoying this, especially if it goes 7 games too. You have no idea who's going to win this series. It is so tough to predict who's going to win this series. A lot of times we've seen in the past 10 years in a lot of the finals where it's like, okay, it's over after game 2.
Yeah.
This series can go 7 games and we'll be on the edge of our seats in the 4th quarter of the 7th game.
We really don't know who's going to win.
We have no idea.
I really hope we are on our edge of the seat. And if we are, I'm sending you a bottle, Paul. I'm sending you a bottle because you put it out there in the universe. So hopefully, man.
But Paul, now I know you said Brook is a liability on defense, right?
Yes.
And you don't even want him to play. You want him to have play less minutes, right?
Yeah.
Am I quoting you correct? Because I watched 3-and-D.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I think Bobby Portis should be getting more of the minutes. I think he matches up a little bit better. Brook Lopez is good because he spaces the floor. He gets eaten out of the paint a little bit because he makes matchups more difficult. But I think Bobby Portis is more of a better matchup against especially against DeAndre Ayton. He's much more physical. He's much more of a defender in the paint than Brook Lopez is. I mean, if we're talking about Brook Lopez 10 years ago when he was with the Nets, he was an all-around amazing center. But he's a lot older now, and he relies on his 3-point shot. Watching Bobby Portis, he was one of my favorite players when he was on the Knicks too, a couple of years ago. He's a good basketball player. He does a little bit of everything. He gets in your head. He can shoot. He literally does everything, and he's a tremendous player. He's an X factor that I think the Bucks need to utilize a little bit more.
That's not the point. That I don't disagree with nothing that you just said. I actually agree with everything that you just said. But only reason I want to give you pushback is because Phoenix have a big man. Frank Kaminsky is not it. Coming off this bench, losing Sarge. I thought losing Sarge wasn't a big deal. It's looking like a way better deal than it is.
That's why I said. That's why I said I was like, that hurts because our big man depth is terrible.
They need to exploit that. Like you say, when they coming off the bench with Cam Johnson, they coming off the bench with Frank Kaminsky that can't check us right now. Like Brook Lopez need to play like when Giannis was out.
Yeah.
And here's my thing.
And that's on Budenholzer.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
we don't have no big man depth, and that's why Monty needs to protect DeAndre Ayton from getting in foul trouble, because if he goes, what you got?
Nothing.
I definitely don't disagree with that, and that's exactly why they are attacking DeAndre.
But I said it as soon as when Sarge went out, I said, "Yo," so I said, "I don't like the way that he limped to that locker room, bro." And that's it. It might be bad.
My
But,
thing about Sarge, I'm like, he ain't. I haven't really been impressed with him on the court. Like
he's done his job. People who do their job are taken for granted.
And I thought Frank could come in here and do the job.
I knew Frank couldn't come in and do
I'm
the job.
telling you like this.
But damn.
Frank ain't nothing more than 6 extra fouls right now.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, Frank literally, he was cut by 2 teams. He's doesn't have much left. He's definitely kind of out of it. And I like to see, I'd like to see a little bit more of, some front court action, like some more of their usage of their big men and stuff. I don't think the Suns definitely don't have a ton, especially a ton of backups, but I think it's difficult because, just like you said, Kaminsky is basically, you're throwing him out there for 6 extra fouls. He's not really the same player. I think that, losing Saric is a pretty significant loss. And I think losing DiVincenzo is a pretty significant loss too, because they're both good rotational pieces. They're not stars. They're not,
you need those,
but you need them.
You need them. Exactly. Every championship team needs a guy like that. And to answer the question, I'm from Connecticut.
Yeah, because multiple people are asking, Paul. You got to throw it out there.
The streets is rocking with you, Paul.
There we go. Yep. From Connecticut, right on the New York border. So tri-state area.
You are good. So, like I said, we had a good time, Paul. Like you said, we can't let you go. Wait till October. You said the season finale of 3&D was over. And you're not gonna be back till October.
Yeah, sadly.
We can't have that. We can't have that.
Sad. I know. We're gonna be putting out videos in the meantime, though. Kind of got chaotic work schedule going on with the Olympics is starting, so taking a little bit of a break. But you could bring it back a little bit sooner. We're going to be very active. You can follow us on Twitter at the 3&D. We'll be putting out all that stuff. All of my thoughts when it comes to college basketball and the NBA. We're putting it out there, and going to be putting out videos on Review and Previews YouTube channel pretty consistently. Just won't be going live basically until October again, but going to be putting out an NBA Finals reaction video. Try to get some guests. Definitely going to have you guys on. I would love to have that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This was a long time in the making anyway, but we finally made it happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And like we tell everybody that comes on here, Paul, you especially one who our supporters enjoy as much as they have your analysis and commentary. You got a home here, man. So it's like whenever you want to come back, just let us know, and whenever you want us on, just give us a heads up, and we'll be there. So we appreciate you.
Really appreciate you guys. Yeah, definitely. Definitely going to have you guys on. Got to talk some hoops. Try to kick off the season. And I'm 100% on to come on whenever. This was a great time. I loved it.
Thanks,
and since I found out that you're 6'3", we're gonna make sure that AJ is checking you.
That's a fact.
Stay away from me. No pick and switch on me. No. You're not gonna barbecue chicken me in the post.
I do the same thing as Paul.
I gotta go over the screen. I do
the same thing as Paul. I just play that 3-point line. I'm not doing nothing else, man. So it's like even though he's 6'3", I might have to check him because I'm not checking nobody that's running around. I'm telling you that now.
AJ Kaminsky.
Exactly. Poor man's Kevin Love. I can grab some rebounds and I'll hit you some threes, but I play decent defense, but not gonna be dunking on anybody or anything.
I'm a Draymond you. I'm gonna let you know. I don't know what Draymond you're gonna get. You may get fever, Draymond.
And see, that's what I meant. That's what I meant when I was talking to Sean. You got that? Yeah, I mean,
you just described a hack. Though.
But like hacks, not fouls on the street. So it's like, you see what I'm saying? So it's like I can't
foul
say
out in the hood.
Exactly. So it's like that stuff that you're doing is like I can't just stop and say ball. It's only ball if it happens when I'm going for an actual shot. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I don't like. I've never liked playing against players that are aggressive who play defense like it's a real game. It's like, bro, get the hell away from me, bro. Like, just let me bring the ball up.
I only know one speed. Only know one speed. I play my game a quarter inch of them.
Oh man.
Which y'all know, y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms, 3Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, 3Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Like I said, you can catch Paul at review and preview sports. I'm here. That's AJ, Cannon, Paul. We out.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.